نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And thank you for joining me again on our second session on Simplified Ḥanafī Fiqh. Yesterday we spoke about the water, as in the types of water. I did mention obviously that it might be somewhat of an academic topic in that we normally have access to fresh water, tap water all the time. However, not all of us lived in the so-called developed world. There are others who live in more difficult circumstances, and as this is a global sort of video, then it will be of benefit to somebody. Anyway, today we're going to turn our attention to najasat, which is probably not a good thing to turn one's attention to, but obviously is something that we need to cover in order to determine what is considered as shari filth, not what we would consider filth. Let me explain by giving an example. Mud to us would also be filthy. So we would think if we had mud on our clothes that this is disgusting, we need to get rid of this mud off our clothes. However, from a Shari perspective, that is considered as pure. It's clean. One can actually pray salah even though they've got mud on their clothes. Similar to why we use soil, or at least we rub our hands on the earth's surface, which could have soil on it, when we're making tayammum. Anyway, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. باب النجاسة. النجاسة هي الكثارة التي يجب على المسلم أن يتنزه عنها ويغسل ما أصابه منها إذا لا تقبل صلاته إلا بالطهارة من النجاسة. So najasa here is that type of kadara, yani filth. Okay, it is something which is considered filthy, for which it is necessary that a Muslim cleanses himself from it, make sure it's removed from him. وَيَغْسِلُ مَا أَصَابَهُ مِنْهَا, and he washes that which has been afflicted by it, affected by it. إِذْ لَا تُقْبَلُ صَلَاةُ إِلَّا بِالطَّهَارَةِ مِنَ النَّجَاسَةِ, when the salah is not accepted, because obviously in those circumstances salah is not accepted except by being pure and clean from impurities. ومن نظر إلى هذا الدين الحنيف وجده مبنيا على الطهارة من النجاسة الحسية والمعنوية وإن الغرب لم يعرف النظافة إلا من مسلم الأندلس. And when one looks into this religion, this upright religion, this sound religion, one will find that this is based upon purity from najasat. Purity from najasat. Hissiya, meaning hissiya, I was just thinking of which platform I was supposed to be on, but I'm on the right platform. Hissiya means that which can be sensed, one can see it, one can smell it, preferably not that one can taste it, wouldn't advise it. وَإِنَّ الْغَرَبَ, and the Western world, they did not understand hygiene and the concept of hygiene except when they learned that from the Muslims of Andalus. So the concept of soap, bathing, baths, this whole concept came from the Muslim world. And therefore you started to have things like Turkish baths and soap and perfumes and things like that, all coming in from the Muslim world, because cleanliness was something absolutely essential at the cornerstone of the Islamic faith. وَتَنْقَسِمُ النَّجَاسَ إِلَى قِسْمَيْنِ حَقِيقَةً وَحُكْمِيَّةً. So therefore we can split najasa into two types. One which is considered as haqiqiyya meaning something which you can visualize, or hukmiyya, and something which has been given the ruling of najasa through the sharia. So let's first focus on the easy one, which is najasatun haqiqiyya. وَهِيَ مَسْتُقْذِرَ شَرْعًا. So this is that which has been considered as filth based upon the sharia. What are we talking about? كالبول, urine, والغائط, feces, والدم, blood, ولحم الخنزير, ولحم الخنزير, and the flesh of swine, ونحوه, and things to that effect. وتزال هذه النجاسات الحقيقية عن البدن, and he should remove these real, or what are considered as physically observable type of impurities from the body and from the clothes and from the place with pure water, which is also a purifier. This is based on the hadith of Asma bint Abi Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anha, أن امرأة سألت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that a woman asked the Prophet of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم, فقالت, she said, إحدانا يصيب ثوبها من الدم الحيض كيف تصنع به, that one of us, sometimes what happens is that the blood of hayd, when we're menstruating, that blood falls on our clothes. كيف تصنع به, what should we do if that happens? What's the hukm? The Prophet of Allah ﷺ said, تحته, you should try to sort of scratch it off, use some physical means to try to remove the blood. ثم تقرص بالماء, then you should rinse it in water. ثم تنضحه, and then you should try to rinse it and remove the water from there. ثم تصلي فيه, and then you may pray in it. So that makes it quite clear that the Prophet ﷺ did not give permission to her to pray in it whilst it still had the blood on there. وَتَنْقَسِمُ النَّجَاسَ حَقِيقِيَّ إِلَى قِسْمَيْنِ أيضا. We can then also split this real najasat, as is referred to, that which has a substance, that which can be seen, that which can be determined by the senses, into two types. Something which is called mughallaza, which is what's termed as heavy, and something which is called mukhaffafa, which is called light, meaning something which is a heavy impurity and a light impurity. So what does a heavy impurity mean? وَهِيَ مَا وُرِدَ فِيهَا النَّص لَمْ يُعَارَضْ بِنَصٍ آخَرٍ. It is that which we find nas for. Nas means some scriptural evidence. Okay, لَمْ يُعَارَضْ بِنَصٍ آخَرٍ, by which we don't find an alternative nas. أو مَتَّفَقَ الْعُلَمَاء عَلَى نَجَاسَتِهَا, or that the ulama are in agreement upon its impurity, kalbaul, like urine, and ghait and feces, wa dam and blood, wa lahm al khinzir, and also the flesh of swine, wal mayta, and carrion, meaning mayta, yani something which has been killed that hasn't been slaughtered through ritual slaughter, or has been found dead. Mukhaffafa, the light version, is وَهِيَ مَا عَارَضَهُ نَسٌ آخَرٍ, is that which there is also a nas which seems to suggest it's not considered as a najasa. So when when everybody agrees and there is no nas to suggest that it is pure, then it is given the mughallaza hukm. And when there is other nas which also discusses that this is not considered as the najasa, so we have kind of a opposing, contradictory nusus, then we take that to be mukhaffafa. For instance, what are we talking about? كَبَوْلِ مَا يُؤْكَلُ لَحْمُهُ مِنَ الْحَيْوَانَاتِ, that type of animal, the urine rather, of that type of animal, that meat can be consumed. كَالْغَنَمْ, like sheep, cattle, or in this case particularly sheep and goats. وَالْإِبِل, camel, bakar, cow, وَالطَّيْرِ, birds, and other things of that effect. So that clears up najasatun haqiqiyya. So we had two types, mughallaza and mukhaffafa. Next we come on to najasatun hukmiyya. وهي الحدث الناتج عن نجاسة حقيقية وتنقسم إلى قسمين. And this is the resulting impurity or the resulting state which is brought about by najasatu haqiqiyya. So this is the result of najasa haqiqiyya. وَتَنْقَسِمُ إِلَىٰ قِسْمَيْنِ. This is also split into two types. الْحَدَثُ الْأَصْغَرُ and al-hadathul akbar, major ritual impurity and minor ritual impurity. So let's turn our attention first to minor ritual impurity, al-hadathul asghar. وَيُرْفَعُ بِالْوُضُوءِ بِالْمَاءِ. How do we come out from the state of ritual impurity? وَيُرْفَعُ بِالْوُضُوءِ. One can come out from this due to ablution with water, or with tayammum, or with dry ablution. إِن لَمْ يُوجَدَ الْمَاءِ, if one cannot find water. Al-hadathul akbar, and the major ritual impurity is وَيُرْفَعُ بِالْغَسْلِ بِالْمَاءِ. This is removed by the washing with water, or with tayammum, or due to tayammum. إِن لَمْ يُوجَدِ الْمَاءِ, if one cannot find water also. So the ritual is wudu. So this is an ablution. This is a ritual ablution which involves the arms, the face, the feet, and the wiping of the head. And when it is a major, then it cannot suffice on those four parts, but rather it must include all the body. An-najasatu muttafaq alayh. So now let's talk about the najasat which there is agreement upon, not the one which there is disagreement, and there's quite a number of them. So I'm going to go through these relatively quickly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ لَا أَجِدُ فِي مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ مُحَرَّمًا عَلَى طَاعِمٍ يَطْعَمُهُ إِلَّا أَن يَكُونَ مَيْتَةً أَوْ دَمًا مَسْفُوحًا أَوْ لَحْمَ خِنْزِيرٍ فَإِنَّهُ رِجْسٌ أَوْ فِسْقًا أُهِلَّ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ بِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I do not find in that which has been revealed to me as being haram upon the eater that he eats, except that it be Maita. Maita, I've already explained to you, is that animal which has either died naturally or was killed without ritual slaughter. Or Daman Masfuha, flowing blood. Or Lahma Khinzirin, or the meat of Khinzir, yani the swine. فَإِنَّهُ رِجْسٌ, for indeed this is considered as impure. Or fiskan, or transgression. Or hilla li ghayrillah, which has been something, so this is an additional one, that which has been slaughtered on something other than Allah, meaning on some other deity or some other way of life. This is in Surah Al-An'am, ayat number 145. Al-Mayta. So what is Al-Mayta? Here we'll see now. Maybe I didn't need to give the definitions because we're going to get the definitions. Al-Maytatu allati tamutu hutfa anfiha. So it's that which died through its own natural causes. وهي ما مات من الحيوانات مطعومة غير المائية. And this is those type of animals which die يعني upon the earth, okay, and those which are normally eaten. So it's not that we're speaking about we're not speaking about animals full stop. We're talking Mayta is limited to those animals which we consume, okay, not animals which we don't consume. So you wouldn't call, for example, a tiger Mayta, okay, but you would consider a sheep or a goat Mayta. And similarly, you wouldn't consider fish Mayta because it is not a land animal. من غير ذبح شرعي, that has not had a ritual slaughter. وَلَقَدِ اتَّفَقَ الْعُلَمَاء عَلَى نَجَاسَتِهَا, and the ulama have agreed, unanimous upon it being najasat, لِقَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى, due to the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِلَّا أَن يَكُونَ مَيْتًا, except that it be mayta. الدم المسفوح, and flowing blood. وهو الدم الحيوان غير مائي, this is the blood of an animal, غير المائي, which is not liquid, الذي ينفصل عنه in the zabh, that which comes out from it at the time of slaughter. وما بقي في أروقه بعد الذبح أيضا, but also that which is within its veins after the slaughter. So what he's saying is not just that blood which the animal obviously naturally, as its heart is pumping, pumps the blood out, but also the blood which still remains in the animal is still considered as damul masfuh. ويخرج عن هذا الحكم, and what comes out from this ruling is damul kabd wa tihal, the blood of liver and spleen. وَالدَّمُ السَّمَكْ بِأَنْوَائِهِ, and also the blood of fish, even though fish has a unique type of blood, and its types, due to the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحل لنا ميتتان ودمان أما الميتتان فالحوت, the fish, والجراد, locust, وأما الدمان فالكبد والطحال, which we already mentioned. لحم الخنزير أجمع العلماء على نجاسته, the ulama are unanimous upon it being considered impure. وإن ذبح ذبحا شرعيا لأنه نجس بعينه, if he was to slaughter it from a Shari perspective, because it is najis in itself. وتشتمل النجاسة كل أجزاء, and it is considered, all its body parts is considered to be najasa. والجلد وإن كان مدبوغا, even its skin is considered to be najasat, even if it was tanned. لقوله تعالى, due to the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس, or the flesh of swine, for indeed it is considered as rijs, which was what we quoted, the ayat which we quoted earlier. غاية وبول الآدمي وما لا يؤكل لحم من الحيوان, so feces and urine, human feces and human urine, and that and urine of an animal whose meat cannot be consumed from animals. لقد اتفق العلماء على نجاسة غائط الآدمي وبوله, there is again a unanimous view amongst the fuqaha that the impurity, that it is considered impure, both the feces and urine of a human. ما عدا بول الأنبياء, other than the urine of the prophets. لحديث, due to the hadith of Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, that he mentions that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam marra biqabrain, was walking past two graves, فقال, and he said, إنهما يؤذبان وما يؤذبان من كبير, these two are being punished and they're not being punished for something big. أي وما هو كبير عليهما لو أراد فعله, meaning that they did not consider it large even though they did this act. أما أحدهما, as for one of them, فَكَانَ لَا يَسْتَنْزِهُ, and because he never used to keep himself clean. أي لا يتطهر, he never would purify himself. من البول, from urine. وأما الآخر, and as for the other, فكان يمشي بالنميمة, he used to carry around tales, he used to gossip. So these two people were being punished in the grave for these two sins. One was obviously gossiping, carrying tales from one person to another. But the other person, which is obviously more relevant to our discussion, is that he would not take precaution when he would be answering the call of nature. Now, why would that be such an issue? Meaning that he wouldn't take precaution. As a result, the urine would fall on his clothes. And because urine would fall on his clothes and on his body, then he was being punished for that. Now, if this was considered as pure, as tuhur, not as najis, then there would be no need for this person to be punished. So one can deduct from this that human urine is considered as an impurity. One Abu Hurairah, we also have from Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, in which he says, قال Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, تنزهوا من البول فإن عامة العذاب القبر منه. Avoid, take precautions from urine. And this is now saying in a mutlaq way, in a general way, so this is going to be all inclusive. For indeed, the majority of the punishment of the grave is due to that. So one can see that najasa, or not taking the necessary precautions, is the cause of the punishment that a person receives in his grave. وقد اتفق العلماء على نجاسة غائط وبول ما لا يؤكل لحمه من الحيوانات باستثناء الخرع الطيور وبول الفأرة وذلك لأنه لا يمكن التحرز منه. And again, the fuqaha are unanimous upon considering that both the feces and the urine of those animals whose meat cannot be consumed is also considered as najis, impure. And what they do is they exclude from there the sort of droppings of birds and the urine of a rat. Why? Because that is not easy to avoid. Al-kayhu, and next one is kayh. Okay, لأنه دم فاسد, which is sort of like bile, I think you could say, which is damun fasid. Damu najis, and blood is najis. So this is produced from there. فكان الكيح نجسا كذلك, and as a result, كيح is also najis. وقد روي عن مجاهد أنه قال الكيح والدم سوا. And it has been narrated from Mujahid that who said that both كيح and blood is the same. وروي ذلك عن عروة ibn Zubair رضي الله تعالى عنه. Next one is القي, يعني vomit. إذا كان من آدمي ولو رديء ساعة أو حيوانا قل أو كثرة فلا بد من تطهيره. So if it be from a human, if for a small moment, or from an animal, whether it is little or less, then there's no issue there where it's considered as pure. وذلك لما روي, this is what has been narrated from Abdullah ibn Umar رضي الله عنهما, who said إذا رأف الرجل أو ذرأ القي أو وجد مذيا فإنه ينصرف فيتوضأ. That person who has a nosebleed, or he vomits, then or he finds a madhi, yani the pre-seminal fluid, then he should go and repeat his wudu. وقد روي ذلك عن علي, and this has also been narrated from Ali ibn Abi Talib and Abu Huraira. Well, madhi, so it mentions now madhi, which was mentioned in that narration, which is a pre-seminal fluid. وهو ماء أبيض, this is a white liquid, رقيق, thin, which comes out in the shahwa at the time of desire, min غير دفق, without necessarily being propelled, and both from the male and the female. وهو ناقض للوضوء, it is considered as a nullifier of wudu, due to the hadith of Ali كرم الله وجهه, when he said, كنت رجلا, I used to be a man, مذاء, who used to regularly get pre-seminal fluid discharge. For ذكرت ذلك, so I mentioned that to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال, and he said, إذا رأيت المذي فاغسل ذكرك وتودع وضوءك للصلاة. That when you see this madhi, this pre-seminal fluid, then what you do is you wash your private part and you make wudu like the way you make wudu for salah. Al-wadi, which is again a discharge from the male anatomy, but this is more due to an illness than anything else. وهو ماء أبيض, again this is a white color liquid, كدر ثخين, but this is much thicker, and it can sometimes have a stronger odor. يخرج قبل البول أو بعده, it comes either before urine or after. وهو نجس أيضا, and this is also considered as an impurity. لما روي عن ابن عباس, from that which has been narrated from Abdullah ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, أنه قال, in which he said, في المضي والودي, with regards to both of them. فالmoney, he says, as for money, then there's ghusl in there, meaning this is seminal fluid discharge at the time of reaching orgasm, fail, and they should be bathed in that. And وَمِنْ هَذَيْنِ, and then as for these two, there is wudu, which is to wash one's anatomy and perform wudu. These two meaning madhi and wadi. Al-khamr. Khamr, will explain what it is. اتفق العلماء على نجاسة الخمر. Again, the ulama are unanimous in the view that khamr is impure. لقوله تعالى, is impure. لقوله تعالى, due to the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه. That khamr, again I'm not going to translate, khamr and maisir, games of chance, ansab and altars, and azlam and divining arrows are considered as rijs, impurities, and they are deeds from shaitan, so avoid them. وقد قال على محمد زاهد الكوثري رحمه الله تعالى المسكر غير الخمر كالإسبرت يجوز استعماله. So we understand that anything which is an intoxicant but not from khamr, like spirit for example, or ethanol, then it's permissible to use it. However, it's impermissible to drink it. وذلك لشيوع استعمال هذا المادة الحامة. This is because we see its excessive use in various things في كثير من مرافق الحياة اليوم. ولحوم والبان حيوانات غير مأكول. And obviously then the final one is the meat and the milk of animals which are not consumed. So tiger milk, for example, is considered as an impurity. So we leave that there for today, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for joining me, and we'll join again, or if you could join me again for tomorrow's session, which is the last one for this week. Jazakallah khairan, ahsan jaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.